Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a look into my spring 2020 forecast. Now, this might be my final one. I mean, it's the first one I made, but this could be the final one, the final forecast. I might make another one later on if the models kind of change a lot. But we are still, spring technically starts in March here, so we got a little bit over a month away till we reach to spring. Now, in spring, we'll be taking a look into the precipitation forecast, of course, and safer for the temperatures, of course, and the overall. But what's going to be different with this one here, we're going to have a severe weather forecast because this is where most of the severe weather occurs is spring. Everyone should know that. But let's go ahead and get started with the precipitation forecast here. As you can see here, we're going to see the southwest there. We'll zoom in. You can see most of California and Nevada will see below average precipitation, surrounding that with the adjacent states like Arizona, Utah, and Oregon, even Nevada can see slightly below average precipitation. Now, I don't think you're going to be a ridge or a trough. I think you're going to be more average. There are a few temperatures overall, which you will see my temperature forecast in just a moment. I think all the systems will miss you guys there. And in between the green and the browns, that's equal chances, or you could say average. So these areas here might get slightly above average precipitation, or they could get slightly below average precipitation here. Similar situation for the upper Midwest around the Great Lakes, even the Northeast. And in this light green here from like Montana, Idaho, and Washington, all the way down into the southeast. That's where we can see slightly above average precipitation there. That's where the models are kind of indicating most of what the systems could be coming from is there in this area in here. Now, some of it could probably come a little bit further south, probably as a rocky system, but we'll see about that. But anyways, here, as you can see here, very small portion of Florida is also slightly above average precipitation. Same thing for the above average, at least for the northern half of Florida. In the Florida Panhandle, can see well above average precipitation, which that always also includes all the deep south here, or the Dixie Alley there, up into the Tennessee Valley, with the above average precipitation surrounding that, like Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, portions of Oklahoma, Kentucky, portions of Ohio, West Virginia, parts of Maryland, the Carolinas, and Virginia there, and even a small portion of Pennsylvania there. This is where I'm kind of indicating most of the precipitation in those areas there. Now, there's a very good agreement where the precipitation is going to be standing out from the models. So there's going to be some pretty good confidence here. But you can also tell here, this is not good for the severe weather season. This gives us an indication that the Gulf of Mexico moisture will be wide open for moisture. So that's not a good thing for the severe weather there. So zoom out here. Oh wait, you can see here's the northeast as well there. For most of the northeast, it looks to be for average for precipitation. So, and even for a small southern portion of Florida, we'll also see some average precipitation. It could be below average as well there. I don't think you won't see too much or much of any precipitation down there. But let's move on to the temperature forecast here. So you can probably tell already, we're probably going to have a southeast ridging. And the models are kind of indicating on for a southwest ridge, even maybe some ridging may be able to develop somewhere in eastern Canada there. So that kind of gives an indication for slightly above average temperatures across the northeast, even for the portions of the Great Lakes region as well. So pretty much includes all the northeast portions of pretty much Michigan there for slightly above average temperatures. So that kind of extends all the way down to Texas now. It may reach to New Mexico. Again, the temperatures is going to be the challenging. Looks to be pretty challenging, at least for the central and western United States. Looks to be pretty challenging for the temperatures. As you can see here, slightly below average temperatures is going to probably be present for central and the northern plains into the northwest there. Now, severe weather wise, doesn't look good either. You got a little bit of a close concentration between with the temperatures there, so more than likely your low pressure track will be kind of somewhere in here. In the warm sector, like in the southeast here, even the Tennessee Valley and the Arley-Tex region, can see some severe weather. You can see here, most of the west should be equal chances there. I do not see any ridges or troughs in the area, just not much activity to talk about there. But hey, at least it will feel nice over there for your average temperatures there. And here's the overview again. In the next forecast here, it's going to be the severe weather. Now, we already had a rough start with severe weather in January. The time of making this video here, yesterday we had severe weather, in the day before that, severe weather's been rough. So we are already having an early start with the severe weather season. And good news is, looks like we're not going to see any severe weather anytime soon. Well, there's a small chance for tomorrow. So keep in mind of that, but it's not going to be nothing serious or anything. But anyways, you can see here I do have a slightly above average severe weather area for most of Kentucky, southern Indiana and Illinois, southeastern Missouri, pretty much a good chunk of Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, eastern Texas, most of Louisiana, and even southern Mississippi and Alabama, portions of Georgia, the the mountains of the Carolinas, and even portions of Tennessee. Now, the above average area, that's where we can see most of the severe weather. That includes most of Tennessee, Arkansas, northern Mississippi, and Alabama, and even a small portion of southern Kentucky as well there, for a very small tip there. Again, looks like we're going to have the Gulf of Mexico overall going to be staying open for moisture here. So you're going to have moisture come in. And if you look back into temperatures here, you can see here where some of that cold air will be trying to come in here. And you're also going to have a Pacific jet kind of type of setup here. So you're going to have a lot of moisture around. There's not going to be much of a problem at all with it. You're and your low pressure track will be something like this here, and it looks like it can deepen somewhere like in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, even around Illinois, Indiana can deepen around there, and that increases the winds, uh, the wind shear, and everything. I think we could see more of those type of systems like we had yesterday at the time I make this video here in early January. I mean, I think we could see more of those systems for the spring here, and very impressive for January there. If it was springtime, it could have been much worse there. Could have been much worse. But, so, nothing much else to say with the severe weather. Now let's look into the overall forecast here. So, southwest of, you can see here, most of southwest there is going to be dry. Kind of in the northern edge, the north and west, surrounding the dry area, mainly going to be average there. Which means average temperatures and average precipitation. You can see here in around the Great Lakes region in the upper Midwest, it's going to be near average. So you might be able to see some slightly above average precipitation. You might be able to get a couple systems. Could be a little bit warmer at times, or it could be a little bit cooler. That's probably going to be one of the uncertainty areas. Well, that's actually where I'm seeing most of the uncertainty. It's actually kind of around the Great Lakes region in the upper Midwest there. This large light green area is slightly wet. It's also going to be cool as well, where we can see multiple systems that can bring in some cooler air into that area. Central Texas looks to be mild. Even the Northeast looks mild. Southern Florida looks to be warm. There's a good chunk of the eastern United States can be stormy as well. In that red area, of course, severe weather. That's we're going to be indicating most of the severe weather for the spring. Now, I'll let you guys know, looking models month by month, looks like March is not going to be bad at all. Not that bad. But when we get to April, doesn't look good. When we look into May, there's just so much uncertainty for May at this time. So, for the where I'm indicating most of the severe weather that can happen in the spring looks to be April. So, doesn't look good. And also, May is the most active month for severe weather. And right now, there's just too much uncertainties here. The problem is, it's going to be there's still going to be plenty of moisture around. It's also going to be warmer throughout the entire spring for these southeastern states, even Arley, Texas, in the deep south, even the lower Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley. There looks to be staying warmer than average temperatures, and also going to be wet throughout the entire or most of spring there. It's just not a good setup there. So we could probably see multiple severe weather events for anybody in the red here. But there can also be some severe weather chances in the stormy area as well. Maybe even the southern portion of the slightly wet and cool area. Maybe even central Texas as well. But overall, most of the severe weather looks to be in the red here. But overall, spring 2020 looks to be pretty active for severe weather. The West looks to have not much of activity. So basically, the most uncertainty areas would be the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, and I think the Northeast will have uncertainties as well. But overall, it looks to be mild, and overall, looks to be high pressure will be in place in eastern Canada there, which it makes the Northeast warmer. Where it looks like we're going to have a southeast ridge coming in, and with the setup with the troughs kind of coming in for the central United States in the southeast ridge, there's going to be plenty of moisture to deal with here. So looks to be very wet and warm for the east. The west, not too much activity, but overall, guys, it just looks like spring 2020 looks to be a busy season. But anyways, guys, this is our graphic guys today. Wait, hold on, I'm not finished yet. I forgot about the models here. So we're going to look into some modeling very quickly. Now this is the Jamstack model here. It got updated last month here. It's going to be updated in a couple of days, but it is similar to what some of the other models are saying. Now this is a 3-month average. So you can see here, we got a positive PDO going on here. The NAO's dying down and looks like more neutral to kind of an El Nino type of thing. Here, you can see our body's warmer water, so you can tell there's going to be some ridging there. You can see here with the precipitation, this is what I'm talking about here. Look at the northeast, portions of the Ohio Valley. Not much for the southeast. Not really looking all that wet. You can see some dry areas there, which I kind of disagree with that. If you're going to have a lot of wet weather up here, that Gulf moisture, it's got to be open for that moisture to happen. There, you can see here California is dry, same thing from the northwest. So you can see here, there's a little bit of area of wetness, not wetness, a little bit above average there for Montana there as well, and it kind of has a little connection to this area here. So basically, looking into the low pressure track of all this here, seems like it'd be kind of coming in something like this here. And in the warm sector of all things, well, hold on a minute. Let me try and make this look a little bit better, a little bit accurate. So probably something like this here, and probably most of your severe weather can occur in these areas right in here. But I think it could be, I do agree with the low pressure track a little bit, but I think some of these areas down here will be above average precipitation from the Jamstack, and it's going to be updating in a couple days. So there might be a major change, but we'll see about that. Surface air temperatures here, you can see here, it's actually pretty cool for some of these areas right in here. It's actually warm in the southeast, pretty warm across the west, and it's a little bit warm in the northern plains here. And by the look of this, where most severe weather can occur, these areas right in here. can see some severe weather just by a look at the jam stack here. But we'll see about this here. And again, with the low pressure track, kind of looks like it could be kind of something happening like this there. As for the jet stream, you're going to have some Pacific moisture kind of coming in here and some Gulf moisture as well, just by the look of the setup from the jam stack. Let's move on to the CFS model here. You can see here, it's pretty similar to my forecast here. You can see southwest is just, not southwest, the southeast is just pretty wet. You see it's wet, a little bit wet across the central plains, the north plains, even portions of the northwest. California looks dry. And if we kind of look into the thermodynamics of everything here, kind of pretty much warm for everybody here, but you can see here, it just looks like overall it's going to be a zonal flow. But if you kind of go in month by month, it kind of gives you a little bit of a better idea. Oops, that's not the one I want. You can see here's the overall pattern here, just zonal flow. It's not going to be that accurate there. But here's the average here. I do not know exactly what this means here. I'm just going to guess it gives you an indication where most of the low pressure systems can come by. And some of the high pressure, you can see there could be a little bit of high pressure across the northeast. And some low pressure systems could come by for some of the areas in the deep south there. So, again, I'm not 100% sure. I'm probably wrong about that. And we'll probably do this month by month here. So the 2 meter temperature anomalies here. So this is kind of near the surface here. So there's May, April there. Again, looks pretty good for some severe weather. Yeah, dead wet. That's kind of concerning look here. Here's 850 millibars here. So your low pressure track will be something like this here. And it seems like the CFS is kind of indicating a little bit of the zonal flow type of thing here, but most of your severe weather will probably happen near the low pressure system here, kind of like the Ohio Valley there. And let's see here, upper dynamics here. Yeah, looks like there's going to be some ridging in the southeast as well. And oh yeah, let's take a look at March as well. Because things like there's going to be a little bit of troughing in the east here. Yeah, don't really look like from there. Here's your precipitation here. Again, the southeast is wet. You can see here, California is pretty dry too. And the Ohio Valley there looks dry. Now this kind of looks to me like a winter's type of setup. Like if I show you February, it does look like a little bit of a winter type of setup there. But February forecast will come out the end of January. If we move on into the CAN-SIPS model, here's March here, kind of wet here, dry, California. April, similar. And same for May, pretty similar. Now let's kind of go backwards with the temperatures. Now look at this here, folks. Cooler than average temperatures here, especially in the plains there. And some of your severe weather can happen in these areas here. Let's go backtrack a little bit. So here's April here. There's a little bit of a cool spot over Iowa there. In March here. And again, March doesn't look that bad for severe weather. I think it's just going to be April to really watch here. We can take a look at the upper dynamics really quick. There's March. Oh, it's loading. It doesn't look like it's going to load for us. But overall, I can see most severe weather happening in the southeast states, the lower Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, kind of around that area as well. And spring 2020 can be a difficult season to forecast, but I think the precipitation of severe weather is going to be easy. It's just the temperatures. It's kind of a little bit all over the place here. But there's a good concentration for a southeast ridge to happen, so the low pressure track could be a little bit more west and north. of everything. So overall, guys, looks to be a pretty active season. And this is our for guys today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this spring 2020 forecast. If you all did like this forecast, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you all guys got questions about this, you put in the comment section down below. I answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.